want to take you back then to the issues around electricity in Ekurhuleni, because a 12.74% electricity tariff increase, which came into effect in April, has caused great unhappiness among electricity users in the country. The adjustment, while lower than Eskom's initial request of 36%, places a significant financial strain on households and businesses that have already been grappling with a growing cost of living. The head of energy, or the Energy Secretariat at the South African National Energy Development Institute, is Professor Sampson Mamphweli, and you're joining us this evening on The Full View, so good to have your time. So we're using Ekurhuleni as a case study. You've got this fixed charge of about 126 Rand that the Premier, not the Premier, pardon me, but the Mayor has now suspended while the Metro looks or explores other alternatives following the outrage from people in Thembisa. Realistically, what can the city do about the situation?
Good evening to you, Thembisa, and the viewers. So the route that the mayor has taken is the shortest route, and it's a route that is within the municipality to be able to control the electricity pricing. So electricity pricing in South Africa is now one of the biggest issues, both at national level, in fact, and the Minister of Electricity and Energy is seized with that particular problem. He has actually approached Sanedi, where I'm currently based, to assist with various measures that can lead to lowering electricity prices. Just recently in March, Eskom got what we call the retail tariff plan, approved by the National Energy Regulator. And in that retail tariff plan, one of the things that they were focusing on was to try and contain the electricity price so that it doesn't go double digit or more. And in the plan, they've got reduction in things such as your service charges for large consumers, which is basically the fixed charge that the mayor has now resorted to reducing. Mm-hmm. And that fixed charge, Thembisa, in terms of, if you look at the poor, anything more than 100 rands, that is a fixed charge for the poor. It's quite massive. So I have to commend the mayor in terms of that particular aspect, because you recall that the poor will have to basically pay 126 rands before they can get in a single unit of electricity per month into their household, and that becomes a huge burden on their side.
So basically what this means, in fact, Prof, you make a good point, and I think it's worth explaining, that the figure we're talking about, this 126 Rand, am I right, if someone was reloading electricity, prepaid electricity for 300 Rand, 126 Rand would come off that amount, and they'd only be able to purchase enough units for the balance, right? How does that then differ or fall in line with what you as Sanedi have been asked by national government to advise on? Is it one and the same conversation?
So you are correct. So if you are loading 300 Rand, 126 Rand goes, and then you are left with the balance, and in that balance you still need to pay VAT. So at the end of the day, and I've seen people posting pictures of their electricity purchases online, asking this particular question. In the end, you remove your 15% VAT from the balance of the money, and the 126 rands is gone. So you have much more less units at the beginning of the month when you purchase electricity. So the work that we're doing as Sanedi on the tariff side of things, it involves looking at various pricing models. And we're starting mainly with municipalities, where we're looking at what can municipalities do on the new generation capacity side of things, looking at new technologies, looking at generation of electricity, for instance, using state land, using solar panels and wind farms that are owned by the private sector, but that would give them less electricity tariffs. books than what they are currently paying. And that's because we can't really figure with the Eskom tariff, because the Eskom tariff has not been cost reflective for the longest of time. Eskom is grappling with that part to try and bring the tariff to the cost reflective kind of a situation, so that we don't have problems of security of energy supply. So
and on that note, Professor Mamphweli, pardon me, because we've got about 2 minutes left for this conversation, on what you were saying regarding the little, or in fact no room for manoeuvring when you consider what Eskom needs in terms of financial income from selling electricity. The mayor of Ekurhuleni today telling people to basically sign a petition that will go to council and ultimately hope for a positive resolution to this. Can council, in all honesty, scrap this 126 Rand fixed charge? Do they have the power to do that? And if so, what would be the implications for income generation?
Yeah, so in terms of the Act, the Municipal Finance Management Act, the council has got the powers to scrap the 126 Rand. The implication is that it reduces the budget that has now been passed by council. So basically, council needs to go back to their original budget and look at what are the areas that will be affected by this budget cut on this 126 Rand monthly service fee. On the services that they need to render to the communities within the municipality. So basically, if they don't find money elsewhere to subsidize that 126 Rand, they need to cut the budget on other services that the municipality will have to deliver to the community within their municipal boundaries.
Professor Sampson Mamphweli, always such a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much for speaking to us about the electricity situation, the pricing situation in particular in the country following a day of protests in Thembisa, and what residents had in a flyer that was circulating last night called a shutdown. It seems to have had some effect, at least temporarily, with the suspension of that charge.